All right, welcome guys. Today I'm just gonna go into custom event, pretty much how to use it, uh, and how it'll be handy to use in your projects. All right, so right here, as you can see, I created a custom event, but I'm gonna show you guys how to create it. You can name it, call it whatever you like. All right, and then here I'm going to, uh, we're going to use a specific key on the keyboard. All right, to execute this line of code that we're going to put in here. All right. So I'm going to delete that. I'm going to do this from scratch so you guys can see. All right. Let's set it up. All right. The first thing we want to do is create a custom event. Now, in order to do that, you right click on your mouse. You type in the search bar, add custom. And you see right here, it says add custom event. So you want to click on that and you can name it whatever you like. So I'm going to name it tutorial event. All right. Enter. I also want to add, guys, for whatever reason, if you don't get to type the name you want before it clicks off, what you can do is click on the custom event that you created, left click on it, hit the F2 key, and it opens it up for you to edit the name. And you can, correct it or change the name completely, whatever you want to do. Okay. So we just create our custom event. It's going to be called tutorial event. That's what I named it. You can name yours whatever you like. Now, before I go into the rest of it, a custom event pretty much allows you to, during the when you're designing your blueprint and you're creating your lines of code, there's going to be a lot going on, and a lot of things are going to need to be connected. A lot of nodes, okay, are going to be used in your blueprint, and you don't want to get confused and overwhelmed. So what you can do is take a bunch of different nodes, right, and plug your custom event into those nodes. All right, and this custom event that you just created will represent all the different nodes, right? So let me give you an example real quick, real brief. All right, so I'm gonna take this tutorial variable that I created here. So for instance, I'm gonna duplicate this just for an example. Okay, duplicate it. So I took the set variable and I just duplicated twice. Okay, now what this allows me to do, once I can connect all these together and say if I put um anything, I put G in this one, H in this one, and J in this one. Okay. Now, when you're using the different nodes throughout the blueprint to form one line of code and to represent that line of code, you plug it into your custom event. Okay, so you take your custom event that you created and you plug it in. Boom, like that. Now, you can use this custom event as a representative for all three of these nodes. Okay, so all you have to do is type it. Well, let's do it this way. Right click on your mouse, type in the name of the custom event that you created. So we're looking for tutorial event. As you can see, it's right here. Okay, this is the one that we just created. So I can click on that. Boom. So now this has now become this, where you can use throughout your blueprint any amount of times. Okay. So now I'm going to disconnect this, and we're going to add a key that's going to control whether the event is being used or not. Okay. So using your mouse, you want to right click, type in the word key. Now, as you can see here, look for the numbers and letters with the keyboard symbol next to it, as you can see, right? And say if you want the Z key, this listing goes from the number 0 all the way to the letter Z, instead of scrolling all the way down here like this. Okay, just click on anyone with the key symbol, with the keyboard icon next to it. Just click on it. Once it shows up in the blueprint, you click on it, you go over to the side to the details panel, and where it says input key, you click on the keyboard icon. Okay, once you do that, you can whatever button you press on your keyboard, it will switch here in this keyboard event. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to press the X key and watch this change to X, just like that, guys. All right, so again, instead of looking for a specific key on your drop down menu like this, instead of scrolling all the way down looking for a specific one, all right, you just click on the first one. And when you click on the first one, you go to the details panel, click on the icon, and then you press whatever key you want to use. So if I want F, it'll switch to F. I go back and click on it. When it turns gold, you can use any key you want to represent what you're trying to do. So I'm gonna go back to X, and that's what I'm gonna set it as. So we're gonna use the X key on the keyboard. Okay. So there are some nodes I want to put together. Just we're going to do a print screen, print the text on the screen, or print the string on the screen based off of whether I press the X key or not. Okay, and we're going to use my custom event up here to represent what I'm going to put here. So guys, I want to add a branch, which is pretty much a true or false node. Okay, and they'll have a condition to it, whether it's true or false. So if it's true, true will happen. If it's false, false will happen. All right. Now, a quick way to do that is you hold the B key, all right, the letter B on your keyboard, B as in Bob. So you hold the B key and you press the left mouse button and it'll automatically show up. Okay, and you can use it. I'm going to place it here. All right, and then all right, so now you want to press the right mouse button on your mouse. Type in print. We're going to do print string. This way we can use numbers and letters. If you guys are confused about what the difference between a string and a text, you can check out my other videos. But with the string, you can put numbers or letters as a value in this box. Okay. So I'm going to use the print string, and I'm going to duplicate this. All right. So I'm going to use this one for if the condition is true, and I'm going to use this one if the condition is false. So let me plug these in here. All right. Now I'm going to change the value here to, it's going to say suck. Success. And when it's false, going to be no success. All right. Now, right now, this condition, if you guys want a little more in depth on what a branch is, how to use it, I also have a video with that goes into the branch, and also the video that goes into the Boolean. All right, so check those out. But right now, the condition with the blue check box, the value is true. When the box is empty, the value is false. Okay, so true with the check and empty, and you got false when it's empty. Okay. Now, right now, this branch is not plugged into anything. All right. So what we want to do is I'm going to take this custom event, and this custom event is going to represent this branch and the two strings. All right. So now instead of placing these nodes over and over and over again throughout the blueprint, which gets costly and it adds up and it just clutters the blueprint over time. So instead of doing that, I'm going to use this tutorial event that I created, this custom event, to represent this code. All right, so this line of code can be used many times as long as I use this custom event right here. All right. So as you guys remember from earlier, I'm going to do it again for a reminder. Now that the code is set up, we're going to use this custom event in the blueprint. So right click on your mouse, type in the name of the event that you created, which is tutorial event. Find it on the list. Look for the white, looks like a diamond with the arrow. That's your custom event, tutorial event. That's the one we're looking for. That's the one we created right up here. So click on it and boom. All right. This is the event we created. So as many times as we use this, we are representing this line of code right here. Okay. So a custom event is pretty much the representative of any given line of code that you want to put in, any line, any structure of a line of code. Okay. So now I'm going to use the X key, and when I press the X key, I'm going to plug it into tutorial event. Now, when I press the X key, it's going to read the tutorial event. All right. This represents this. Now, when this is initiated, it's going to check the condition of the branch. Is the branch true or is it false? Is it true or is it false? It's going to check this. Now, since the branch is empty, the condition is empty, it's going to be false. All right. So we're going to do false just to test it, see if it works. So the condition is false. So it's going to print on the screen, no success, no success. Let's give it a shot. All right. So when I press the X key, it says no success. Look in the top left-hand corner of the screen, no success, because the condition was what? It's false, right? Now, what happens if I make the condition true? It should say success, right? It should say success because the condition is now true. So when I press the X key, it's going to read the tutorial event. The tutorial event is initiated. It's going to check the branch to see whether it's true or false. And if it's true, it's going to show success. If it's false, it's going to show no success. All right. So we're going to put a check in the condition box for it to be true. Now on the screen, we should see the word success. Let's compile it. Let's save. All right. So when I press the X key, it should say success. Now look in the top left-hand corner of the screen. It says success. Every time I press the X key. Okay. There you go, guys. That's the basics of it. You can always grow from here. It's a pretty decent foundation to learn from. Now, when you create your custom events, okay, you can name it anything you want. Try to name it something where you can relate to it throughout your coding progress. All right. As you make more and more events and more lines of nodes and stuff in the blueprint, you want to be able to reference anything particular. Make sure you name it to something you'll remember. All right. It will definitely be helpful to you. All right. Now, if I press, now that it's unplugged, you see, the event is unplugged, so I can't use it. When I press the X key here, even though it's plugged into the custom event that I created, it's not going to work because it's not plugged in from the source. It's not plugged into anything. All right. So make sure when you create a custom event, make sure it's plugged in for it to work. All right. There's more to this, but this is just the basics, guys. Hopefully you can make something from it. Until next time.